When do you need a glossary? And how do you write one? What is a glossary? A glossary is a list of alphabetized words along with their definitions. You may need a glossary if the document you're writing uses language specific to your field of study or profession, especially if you're writing for non-experts. Think of it a bit like a dictionary that only contains terms or phrases related to a specific topic. Situations where you might need a glossary include academic or technical works that include a lot of specialized language, abbreviations, neologisms, or anything that might be unfamiliar to a reader. Style guides for businesses that want to ensure people use language correctly and consistently across all of their communications. Educational materials about the specific language used in a particular field. And fiction that contains invented words or languages such as sci-fi or fantasy novels. The key question to ask yourself is, could a glossary make my work more accessible to readers? If the answer is yes, you need a glossary. What should you include in your glossary? The aim is to select words that your intended readers may not know. Here are a few tips to follow. If you're adding a glossary to a larger work, such as a book, go back through the text and note down any tricky words. If you're preparing a standalone glossary, read through some of the material it's intended to accompany. Then, go back over your initial list with the intended audience in mind. For each word, ask yourself, will my readers understand what this means? Then only include terms that you believe will be unfamiliar. After you've done all this, ask a friend or colleague who may also be unfamiliar with the terms for help. This can help you identify words you've missed and also narrow down the final list of words for your glossary. How do I write a glossary entry? The basic format for a glossary is a list of words in alphabetical order. Each word should be followed by a definition that explains what the word means. And for each definition, you should think about what your reader will need to know about how the term is used, set out the meaning of the term using the simplest language possible, keep your audience in mind here again so you can tailor the terminology used. Be concise. Usually it should be between 1 and 4 sentences long. For instance, a glossary entry for asterism might look something like this. Asterism. In typography, an asterism is a symbol made up of 3 asterisks arranged in a triangle. Traditionally, publishers used the asterism to indicate minor breaks within a chapter or section in a book. However, this symbol is fairly rare in modern publishing. In just 3 short sentences, we've given our audience the ability to identify an asterism, understand how it's typically used, and get a sense of its current usage. What else should a glossary entry include? All a glossary entry really needs is a definition of the word in question. But you can also use a glossary entry to point readers towards further information. One way to do this is to cross-reference terms in your glossary. You might do this to link 2 words with the same meaning or that refer to similar concepts. For example, using our asterism definition, we could cross-reference this with scene breaks or asterisk. To do this, we'd simply add something like see also and then the words to which we are cross-referencing. In addition, for digital content such as an online glossary, you can also use hyperlinks both within the definition and as cross-references. Importantly though, this doesn't replace the need to define the term clearly. Adding links and cross-references can be useful to the audience, but it doesn't circumvent the need for a clear definition of the word in question. Hopefully this video has explained everything you need to know to get started. If you have any particular questions, let me know in the comments. As always, I've linked some handy resources in the video description. And don't forget, subscribe to the channel for more weekly tips. Your writing, proof.